Seniors, stop this daily habit before it steals your muscle strength. Have you ever stood up from your favorite recliner only to feel your legs tremble just slightly? Maybe your arms felt a little heavier than usual when you reached for a book on the shelf. Or perhaps walking across the kitchen took more effort than it used to. Nothing dramatic, just a subtle drag in your step. No sharp pain, no obvious injury, just a quiet whisper from your body. I'm not as strong as I used to be. Most people would brush it off. It's just aging, they'd say. But what if it isn't just age? What if that creeping weakness, the fatigue you feel after basic tasks, or that persistent stiffness in the morning isn't just part of getting older, but a sign of something more specific, something preventable? What if it's not about your age at all, but about a small, everyday habit that feels harmless, yet silently eats away at your muscle strength? This kind of subtle damage doesn't come with alarms or flashing lights. There's no urgent warning. It doesn't scream, it whispers. And by the time you notice it, the effects may already be interfering with your independence. Suddenly, carrying groceries feels heavier than it should. Getting out of bed takes a little longer. Standing from the toilet seat feels like a chore. It all creeps in slowly until one day you realize you're avoiding stairs or holding onto furniture as you walk. And here's the hard truth. It doesn't have to be this way. The condition behind this gradual weakening is called sarcopenia, and millions of adults over 50 are living with it right now without knowing it. Sarcopenia is the medical term for age-related muscle loss. But don't let that word fool you. It's not something that only affects people in their 80s or 90s. In fact, researchers from the Lancet Public Health found that over 30% of adults over the age of 60 already show signs of it. Most aren't even aware it's happening. That's because sarcopenia doesn't come on like a pulled muscle or a broken bone. It doesn't cause sharp pain. It doesn't send you to the ER. It just creeps quietly. At first, you might simply feel more tired at the end of the day. Your balance might feel just a little less reliable. Maybe lifting a laundry basket takes 2 hands when it used to take 1. But underneath all of that is a more serious biological shift. Your muscle fibers are breaking down faster than your body can repair them. And once sarcopenia takes hold, it accelerates over time unless you take action. Now here's the hopeful part. Sarcopenia isn't inevitable. It can be slowed, even reversed. But the first step is understanding what's feeding it. That's what this video is all about. We're going to walk through the 10 most common daily habits that quietly destroy muscle strength, especially after age 50. These aren't extreme things like avoiding exercise for years or lifting heavy boxes the wrong way. No, these are things you likely do every single day without even thinking about them. And the most surprising part, the first habit on this list is something almost every senior does, thinking it's harmless or even healthy. Let's start with habit number 10, eating refined sugar daily. Yes, you've probably heard 1,000 times that sugar isn't good for you. We associate it with weight gain, cavities, diabetes, but almost nobody talks about its impact on muscle health. And that's where the real danger lies. Here's what's happening behind the scenes when you have that morning donut or sweetened yogurt or even white bread with jam. Refined sugar causes your blood glucose to spike rapidly. Your body responds by flooding your bloodstream with insulin to control the sugar level. But when this process happens over and over again, day after day, year after year, it leads to something more serious, chronic inflammation. And inflammation is the silent saboteur of your muscles. In fact, a peer-reviewed study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that elevated blood sugar and insulin resistance can suppress muscle protein synthesis, the very process your body uses to repair and rebuild muscle fibers. When you consume excess sugar regularly, you're literally preventing your muscles from healing after everyday wear and tear. And this isn't just about eating cookies or drinking soda. Refined sugars are hidden in more places than most people realize. White bread-flavored yogurts, crackers, cereals, store-bought salad dressings, even some canned soups. Now think about how often those foods appear on your plate. The damage may not feel immediate. You won't feel your muscles shrinking overnight, but over months and years it builds. Your muscle strength fades, your stamina decreases, your ability to recover after physical activity slows to a crawl. And the worst part, many people don't connect the dots. They blame their age. They assume it's just part of the natural process, but it's not. It's something you can control. So before we move on to the next habit on this list, take a moment to reflect How much sugar do you really consume each day? Not just desserts, but hidden sugars in processed foods, morning pastries, juice, and even those healthy granola bars. Because habit number 10 may seem obvious, but it's also one of the most overlooked causes of accelerated muscle loss after age 50. And if that surprises you, just wait until you see what habit number 9 is. In the previous section, we uncovered one of the most surprising threats to your muscle sugar, but the damage doesn't stop at inflammation alone. There's another layer one that continues working silently in the background, whether you're active or sedentary. Even if you're exercising or walking daily, if your diet still includes regular amounts of added sugars, your muscle recovery may remain sluggish. That's because sugar isn't just slowing things down, it's actively sabotaging the entire repair process. Through something known as oxidative stress, a process that acts like internal rust. When you consume excess sugar, your body generates unstable molecules called free radicals. These free radicals go on the attack, damaging healthy muscle tissue one cell at a time. Over time, this damage accumulates. The result: faster muscle fatigue, slower recovery, less strength even if you're moving more. You might start to wonder why your legs feel heavy after walking, or why simple tasks seem to drain your energy. Sugar working in the background may be the reason. And here's what makes this so difficult to detect sugar hides in places you'd never expect. It's not just cakes, donuts, and candy bars. Sugar is slipped into healthy foods too: fruit juice flavored yogurts, granola salad dressings, low-fat packaged snacks, and even whole wheat bread. It may come under other names like high fructose corn syrup, glucose maltodextrin, or evaporated cane juice. But no matter what you call it, the effects on your muscles are the same. You might not be eating dessert, but your muscles could still be under attack. So what can you do about it? Start with small, smart substitutions. Read nutrition labels carefully. If you spot more than 5 grams of added sugar per serving, it's worth reconsidering. Swap out fruit juice for whole fruits like apples, pears, or berries. They're naturally sweet, but come packaged with fiber and antioxidants that actually support muscle repair. If you're used to sweetening your morning oats or coffee, try adding cinnamon nutmeg or a touch of vanilla extract instead of refined sugar. Reach for unsweetened yogurt or make your own with a sprinkle of chia seeds and fresh fruit. Choose whole grains like steel-cut oats or sprouted bread. And if you crave something sweet, enjoy small amounts of dates, raisins, or raw honey in moderation. Because sugar doesn't just harm your waistline or your blood sugar, it silently chips away at your strength, your balance, your independence. And that leads us straight into habit number 9. One that sounds too simple to be dangerous, but affects nearly every senior I've worked with. Habit number 9, not drinking enough water. I know what you're thinking. I drink tea. I have juice with lunch. I'm not thirsty, so I must be fine. But the truth is, by the time you feel thirsty, you're already mildly dehydrated, and your muscles are already paying the price. Did you know that muscle tissue is made up of nearly 70% water? That's right. Your muscles rely on water to stay supple, strong, and flexible. Without it, they begin to lose elasticity. They cramp more easily. They recover slower after even light activity. You feel stiff, weaker, sometimes even dizzy or shaky after short walks. Now here's the part that catches most people off guard. Drinks like coffee, tea, and soda don't count toward hydration. In fact, they do the opposite. Because they contain caffeine and sugar, they act as diuretics, pulling water out of your body and increasing your risk of dehydration. Think about the last time you stood up too quickly and felt your legs wobble, or when your arms just didn't feel as strong reaching up to the cabinet. That subtle fatigue. It may not be age. It could be low hydration. And when you're dehydrated, circulation slows. Your blood can't deliver nutrients or oxygen to your muscle cells efficiently. That means slower healing, slower growth, weaker contractions, and more inflammation. So, how much water is enough? For most older adults, 6 to 8 glasses per day is the minimum. That's 1.5 to 2 liters of clean filtered water, not counting coffee or tea. If you live in a warmer climate, take medications, or are active throughout the day, you may need even more. But the key isn't just drinking enough, it's drinking regularly. Don't wait until you feel parched. By then, your muscles have already started to stiffen. Here are a few simple strategies to help start your morning with a full glass of water before anything else. Yes, even before coffee. Sip a small glass 10-15 minutes before each meal. Carry a reusable water bottle with you throughout the day as a reminder. Infuse your water with fresh lemon cucumber slices, mint, or ginger if plain water feels boring. Eat water-rich foods like oranges, cucumbers, tomatoes, and watermelon. They hydrate while nourishing you with vitamins and minerals. Hydration isn't just about preventing muscle cramps, it's about optimizing blood flow, supporting cognitive function, and allowing your muscles to do what they were designed to do: move, lift, support, and sustain your independence. Without adequate hydration, even the best diet and exercise routine won't deliver results. Water is the foundation. It's not just a beverage, it's fuel. And now, with your muscles beginning to rehydrate and inflammation under control, we come to the next mistake, one that's more behavioral than nutritional. Habit number 8, avoiding strength exercises. But we'll save that for the next section. Let me know when you're ready for the continuation. Now that we've seen how critical hydration is for your muscles, let's talk about something even more fundamental: how you use those muscles or don't. For many seniors, just hearing the phrase strength training is enough to cause hesitation. It sounds like something reserved for athletes, bodybuilders, or fitness fanatics, not something you'd expect to be part of a gentle daily routine after 60 or 70. Maybe you've told yourself it's too intense, too risky, or just not necessary anymore. But here's something that might surprise you. The older you get, the more essential strength training becomes. Why? Because your body doesn't wait for you to feel weak before it starts losing muscle. Beginning around age 30, we naturally begin to lose muscle mass, about 3 to 5% per decade. And once you hit 60, that rate can double unless you take action to slow it down. That means you could lose 10% or more of your muscle mass every decade after 60. And it doesn't happen with warning signs or pain. It happens quietly, subtly, until one day carrying a laundry basket feels heavier than it used to. You hesitate before climbing stairs. You start holding on to furniture when you walk. Or you need help standing up from a chair without even realizing how quickly things changed. But here's the good news: muscle loss is not inevitable. It can be slowed, stopped, even reversed. And no, you don't need to spend hours at the gym or lift heavy weights. In fact, a study from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that just 2 30-minute strength sessions per week, that's 1 hour total, was enough to help older adults rebuild muscle, improve posture, and reduce the risk of falls and injury-related surgeries. Think about that. 60 minutes a week, less time than you spend watching a movie. So what does strength training look like for someone in their 60s, 70s, or even 90s? It looks like holding 2 water bottles and curling them gently while seated. It looks like standing up from a sturdy chair without using your hands. It looks like slow, controlled wall push-ups. It looks like stretching an elastic band, or simply holding a standing pose for 10 seconds. The goal isn't to strain or sweat, it's to signal, to tell your body, these muscles are still needed, don't let them go. Because if you don't use them even gently, your body assumes they're no longer required, and it quietly begins to let them fade. Even 10 minutes a day can change the game. Start small. Focus on slow, intentional movement, deep breathing, controlled effort, not speed. If you're not sure where to begin, there are countless gentle follow-along videos right here on Life After 60 Today, designed specifically for seniors, step-by-step, joint-safe, and effective. Remember, strength isn't about how much you lift, it's about keeping your freedom. When you move your body even a little, it moves with you in return. It carries your groceries, keeps you steady, lets you travel, garden, or dance at your grandson's wedding. And that brings us to the next muscle-destroying habit, one that doesn't involve movement at all. Habit number 7, eating foods that silently damage your muscles. You could be doing everything else right, walking daily, stretching, staying hydrated. But if your plate is filled with the wrong foods, your progress can be undone from the inside out. Because what you eat doesn't just fuel your muscles, it builds or breaks them. Some foods look harmless. They're convenient. They taste good, maybe even labeled low-fat or heart-healthy. But the truth is, many common foods contribute to inflammation, delay recovery, and accelerate muscle loss. Let's look at the top silent offenders: sugary soft drinks. Loaded with empty calories, they spike your insulin and feed chronic inflammation. No nutrients, just damage. Processed meats. Think sausages, bacon, deli slices. These are full of preservatives and sodium that harm your muscles and your heart. White bread and refined flour. Stripped of nutrients and fiber, they flood your system with sugar and offer no usable fuel for your muscles. Fried and fast foods. high in trans fats and oxidized oils that impair muscle recovery and increase joint inflammation. Packaged snacks and chips. Salt bombs that promote water retention, sluggishness, and fatigue. Pastries and sweets. Quick spikes, fast crashes. These create hormone imbalances that block muscle growth. Alcohol, especially in excess, interferes with nutrient absorption, hydration, and recovery. Even moderate drinking over time can reduce muscle strength. Strong caffeine and energy drinks. They overstimulate your system, rob you of sleep, and impair the deep recovery your muscles depend on. Artificial sweeteners. Emerging research suggests they may disrupt gut health, which affects how your body absorbs the very nutrients your muscles need. Canned foods with excess sodium. Too much salt pulls water out of your muscles, leaving them tight, dehydrated, and more prone to cramping. Now, does this mean you have to cut out every single one of these? Not necessarily, but becoming aware is the first step. What you eat is either building your strength or slowly wearing it away. And over time, those choices accumulate. You don't have to be perfect, but you do need to be intentional. Start by swapping just one item on your plate. Trade white bread for sprouted grain. Replace sugary soda with herbal tea. Have an avocado instead of chips. One better choice, one meal at a time. Because muscle health isn't just about exercise, it's about what's on your fork. When you treat food as your daily prescription for strength, vitality, and energy, everything else starts to align. Let me know when you're ready for us to continue into the next habit. Now that we've uncovered how food choices can silently weaken your muscles, let's talk about something that feels even more normal, but may be just as dangerous. For many older adults, managing pain becomes a quiet part of daily life. A little soreness in the knees. Take an ibuprofen, a tight back after gardening. Reach for acetaminophen. It becomes routine, almost reflexive, and at first glance, it seems like a smart solution. After all these medications are available over the counter, recommended by doctors, and they work, they ease discomfort and help you get on with your day. But what if that little white pill taken day after day is doing more harm than good? What if it's not just soothing the pain, but silently preventing your muscles from healing, rebuilding, and staying strong? Here's what most people don't realize. Your muscles have a built-in repair system. It's called inflammation, but the healthy kind. Every time you move, walk, lift groceries, or even rise from a chair, your muscles experience tiny micro tears. It sounds scary, but it's a good thing and natural trigger that tells your body, hey, we use this muscle. Let's make it stronger. That's when your body sends in repair cells and proteins to rebuild the tissue. This process is how we maintain strength. It's how we recover after activity. But when you take non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs like ibuprofen, every single day, you interrupt that cycle. A landmark study in the Journal of Applied Physiology showed that long-term use of NSAIDs can reduce muscle protein synthesis, which is the very mechanism your body uses to build and restore muscle fibers. Think of it this way, it's like turning off the construction crew before the repairs begin. And that's not the only risk. Overusing painkillers can gradually strain your liver and kidneys, two organs essential for processing nutrients, removing waste, and keeping your body's chemistry balanced. NSAIDs also irritate your stomach lining, potentially causing ulcers or digestive issues that interfere with how your body absorbs key vitamins and minerals, especially those needed for muscle health, like magnesium, potassium, and B12. So while that pill may ease today's discomfort, it could be quietly undermining your strength tomorrow. Now, this doesn't mean you should throw away all your pain medication. Far from it. Pain relief has a purpose after surgery injury or in managing certain chronic conditions. But if that bottle on your nightstand has become part of your everyday ritual, it's time to pause and ask, am I healing or just hiding the pain? So what can you do instead? Here are gentler, safer alternatives that support your body's healing instead of blocking it. Warm compresses for sore joints or muscles. A soothing Epsom salt bath magnesium absorbed through the skin can ease tension. Gentle stretching, light yoga, or even a slow walk to keep blood moving and reduce stiffness. Anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, turmeric, ginger, dark leafy greens, and berries. Hydration, because even slight dehydration worsens pain perception. Mindfulness or breathing exercises to ease tension and improve pain tolerance. And of course, speak with your doctor before adjusting or stopping any medications. Remember, pain is not your enemy. It's a message, your body's way of saying something needs attention. When we silence that message without listening, we risk missing what truly needs to be healed. And that brings us to a critical but often overlooked habit: protein intake. Habit number 5, not eating enough protein. If there's one myth that's done more harm to aging muscles than almost anything else, it's this: protein is only for athletes. The truth is, as you age, you actually need more protein, not less. Why? Because your body naturally breaks down muscle faster over time. That process, called anabolic resistance, means that your muscles become less responsive to the protein you eat. So to maintain strength, energy, and independence, you have to give your body more of the right building blocks and at the right times. But here's the issue: most seniors aren't even close to getting enough. Let's look at a typical day. Breakfast might be toast, a banana, and coffee. Lunch, a bowl of soup and a few crackers. Dinner, maybe a little rice with steamed vegetables. It sounds light, clean, even healthy. But what's missing? Protein, the essential nutrient your muscles depend on for survival. No eggs, no chicken, no beans, no fish. And here's what that leads to: slower recovery, faster muscle loss, and weaker performance in even the simplest daily tasks like getting out of bed or lifting a bag of groceries. And when protein is missing regularly, your muscles quietly shrink and fatigue sets in faster. According to researchers at Tufts University's Human Nutrition Center, aging adults over 60 need around 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, and even more if they're recovering from illness or injury. That's nearly 25 to 30 grams per meal for many seniors. So, what should you do? Start simple. Add a scrambled egg or two to your breakfast. Have some Greek yogurt or cottage cheese with fruit. Toss a handful of lentils into your soup. Enjoy grilled chicken or salmon with dinner. And if solid foods are difficult, a protein smoothie with whey or plant-based powder and a bit of nut butter can work wonders. Even better, time your protein intake within 30 to 60 minutes after light activity. That's when your muscles are most primed to use it. Because muscles aren't just made in the gym, they're made in the kitchen, bite by bite. Now let's keep the momentum going. When you're ready, I'll help you rewrite the next section. After exploring how protein fuels muscle repair, it's time to look at one of the most overlooked challenges many older adults face: poor sleep quality. And no, this isn't just about feeling groggy in the morning. It's about something far more critical: your muscles' ability to regenerate and stay strong. You see, muscles don't actually grow while you're exercising. They grow while you're resting, especially when you're asleep. During sleep, your body shifts into deep repair mode. It's like a construction crew that comes out only at night. That's when muscle fibers rebuild, hormones balance, inflammation cools, and your strength is restored for the next day. But here's the catch: if the construction team never shows up, the repairs never happen. And sadly, that's the case for many older adults. Whether it's difficulty falling asleep, waking up frequently during the night, or rising too early, broken sleep takes a toll. Over time, it quietly steals your strength, energy, and balance. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that getting fewer than 6 hours of sleep per night significantly reduces growth hormone production. This is the very hormone responsible for muscle repair and maintenance. Without it, muscles don't heal properly after activity. They stay sore longer, feel stiffer, and begin to shrink. And yet sleep is often brushed off. How many times have you heard someone say, "I'm just not a good sleeper," or "I don't need much sleep at my age"? The truth is, you need sleep now more than ever, because without it, your body doesn't get the chance to restore what time and activity take away. So, what can you do? Start by creating a gentle bedtime ritual, one that signals to your body it's time to wind down. This could include going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Turning off bright lights and electronic screens at least an hour before bed. Creating a quiet, cool, dark room free from distractions. Drinking a warm, caffeine-free herbal tea like chamomile or valerian. Taking a short warm bath to relax your muscles. Avoiding caffeine, alcohol, and heavy meals late in the evening. And remember, poor sleep is often a symptom, not just a problem. It may reflect underlying stress, lingering pain, or even nutritional gaps. When sleep improves, your energy does too, and your muscles finally get a chance to catch up. Now let's move into another habit that seems small, but carries huge consequences over time. Habit number 3, skipping breakfast or starting your day with the wrong foods. How many mornings have you reached for just a cup of coffee and a piece of toast? Maybe you didn't feel hungry. Maybe you were in a rush. Or maybe you've heard that skipping breakfast helps with weight. But here's what almost no one tells you. Your muscles haven't had fuel for 7 to 10 hours while you've been asleep. When you skip breakfast or eat something sugary and low in nutrients, you're not just delaying your meal. You're delaying your body's ability to stop muscle breakdown. This process called catabolism means your body continues breaking down muscle tissue for energy. And that adds up day after day. When muscles go too long without the right nutrients, they don't just get weak, they lose mass. And when that happens, everything gets harder. Climbing stairs, lifting groceries, keeping your balance on uneven ground. Even your metabolism slows, leading to weight gain and lower energy levels. Now let's talk about the worst kind of breakfast coffee and white bread. Sure, it's quick. It might even feel comforting. But here's the truth, this kind of breakfast spikes. Your blood sugar gives you a short burst of energy and then causes a sharp crash. And during that crash, your body continues burning muscle protein for fuel instead of fat or carbs. So what should breakfast look like for a strong, resilient body over 60? It doesn't need to be heavy. It just needs to be balanced. Here are a few ideas that are gentle on digestion and powerful for muscle support. 2 scrambled eggs with a slice of whole grain toast and a handful of berries. Greek yogurt with chia seeds, walnuts, and a drizzle of honey. A smoothie made with unsweetened almond milk protein powder, a frozen banana, and a spoonful of peanut butter. A bowl of steel-cut oats topped with almond butter, ground flaxseed, and cinnamon. Avocado toast on whole grain bread with a poached egg on top. And don't forget, start your morning with water. A glass of room temperature water, first thing, helps wake up your digestive system, supports hydration, and primes your muscles to absorb nutrients more efficiently. Breakfast isn't just a meal. It's a signal. It tells your body, let's stop breakdown and start repair. When you get it right, your muscles respond. You feel more energized, more grounded, more capable of taking on the day. It's the difference between simply getting by and actually thriving. In the next part, we'll explore the final 2 muscle-destroying habits that may be sneaking into your routine without you even realizing it. One of them, surprisingly, is something most seniors were told for decades was a sign of discipline and wisdom. But science tells a different story. Shall we continue? After learning how breakfast can either nourish or neglect your muscles, let's turn to one of the most underestimated threats to strength: long periods of sitting. You might not think of sitting as dangerous. After all, it's how we rest, relax, read, eat, chat, or watch TV. It feels safe, especially as we get older and movement becomes harder. But here's a truth that catches many by surprise: extended sitting quietly sends a dangerous message to your body. You no longer need muscle, and the body listens. Over time, if your muscles aren't used, they begin to shrink. This isn't about laziness. It's biology. Your body is designed for efficiency. If something isn't needed, it reallocates resources. That means the muscles that help you stand, climb stairs, stay balanced, walk confidently, or rise from a chair, those very muscles start disappearing if they're not called upon regularly. Even if you go for a 30-minute walk each day, that won't undo the damage of 8 or 10 hours of uninterrupted sitting. This might seem unfair, but science backs it up. A study published in the Journals of Gerontology found that seniors who sit for prolonged periods each day have significantly higher rates of muscle loss, frailty, and falls, regardless of whether they exercise at other times. Now here's the good news. The solution is simple, achievable, and doesn't require breaking a sweat. It's about breaking up your stillness. Movement, even small doses of it, keeps your muscles awake and active. So every 30 to 40 minutes, do something, even if it's just for 1 or 2 minutes. Stand up and stretch. March lightly in place. Walk around the house during phone calls. Do gentle calf raises while waiting for the microwave. Stretch your arms and rotate your ankles while watching TV. Think of it like this: you're reminding your muscles you still need them, and in return, they stay more flexible, better lubricated, and quicker to respond. These micro movements may not look like much, but they improve circulation, prevent stiffness, and dramatically reduce the risk of falls. You don't need a workout plan. You need a movement rhythm. And speaking of rhythm, that brings us to habit number 1, one that millions of older adults do every day without realizing its cost. It's so normal, so routine, that it rarely raises concern. But for your muscles, it's a silent thief: staying inactive after meals. After you eat a meal, what's the most common instinct? Sit back, relax, watch TV, scroll through your phone, maybe take a nap. And while this feels comforting, especially after a hearty lunch or dinner, it's not what your body needs most in that moment. Digestion is a complex, energy-intensive process. Your body shifts blood to your gut, breaks down nutrients, distributes them to muscles and organs, and manages blood sugar. But if you slump onto the couch, or worse, lie down, that process slows to a crawl. Here's what's quietly happening. Blood sugar rises higher and stays elevated longer. Circulation weakens, especially to your lower extremities. Nutrients like amino acids don't get delivered to your muscles efficiently. Your body chooses to store fat instead of repairing tissue. You feel more tired, stiff, and heavy afterward because your system is now sluggish, not supported. Over weeks, months, years, this small habit contributes to accelerated muscle loss. It's particularly harmful to the legs and hips muscles that are essential for independence. But just like the last habit, the fix is refreshingly easy. Within 5 to 10 minutes of finishing a meal, try one of these walks slowly around your home or down the driveway. Wash the dishes while standing upright. Fold laundry at the table. Water the plants or tidy up your space. Do some light stretches while listening to soft music. It's not about burning calories. It's about sending the right signal. We are using this fuel. We are staying active. Keep these muscles strong. Just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement. After eating improves digestion, stabilizes blood sugar, boosts nutrient absorption, and enhances blood flow to your muscles. You may not feel the difference instantly, but over time, this becomes a powerful habit that supports long-term strength and stamina. It's often said that aging is the sum of our smallest decisions, repeated daily. What you do after meals, just like what you eat before them, can define how well you move, how steady you feel, and how resilient your muscles remain. In our next chapter, we'll wrap up this journey by reflecting on what all these habits have in common and how you can turn awareness into strength without needing a gym, a coach, or a complicated routine. Let's keep going. The path to stronger aging is right under your feet. Now that we've walked through the 10 everyday habits that quietly erode your strength, it's time to take a deep breath and look forward. These aren't catastrophic mistakes. They're quiet routines, seemingly harmless choices we repeat without thinking. But over the weeks, months, and years, they stack up like bricks in a wall that separates us from the strength, energy, and independence we once took for granted. The most powerful truth: you can begin reversing that process today. Let's take one more look together. The 10 muscle-draining habits we've uncovered: consuming refined sugar too often, failing to hydrate properly, avoiding strength-building exercises, eating inflammatory or highly processed foods, overusing painkillers that block natural repair, not eating enough protein for your age, sleeping too little or too lightly, skipping breakfast or starting with the wrong foods, sitting for long hours without movement, lying down after meals instead of moving gently. Each one may seem small, easy to overlook, but when repeated daily, they become a pattern, and that pattern shapes how your muscles respond, how your body ages, and how you feel at the end of the day. But here's what matters most. You don't need to change everything all at once. Start with something simple. Pour a tall glass of water before your morning coffee. Add 1 boiled egg or a spoonful of Greek yogurt to your breakfast. Go for a short walk after dinner, even just around the house. Set a timer to stand and stretch every 45 minutes. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. These gentle efforts, done with care and consistency, build real resilient strength, especially after 60, because your body isn't done yet. It's still listening, still adapting, still waiting for your signal that it's time to thrive again. And remember, strength at this stage of life isn't about lifting heavy weights or chasing youth. It's about the quiet victories: getting up from a chair without bracing yourself, carrying groceries without fatigue, walking steadily without fear of falling. These are the wins that matter. These are the moments that define freedom. So, now let me ask you, which one of these habits speaks to you most? Which one will you start shifting today? Let us know in the comments. We read everyone. Your insight could inspire someone else to begin their journey too. And if this video offered you even a spark of encouragement, consider subscribing to Life After 60 today. We're here with weekly guidance to help you feel stronger, move better, and age with purpose. Because your future self is counting on what you do next. Stay curious, stay moving, And above all, stay connected to your body, your strength, and your story. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, be kind to yourself and keep choosing strength one morning at a time.